Welcome to On the Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. We're here with Big O and Coach Evan Hearn. We have two special guests with us today. We'll introduce them shortly, but first let's go over a couple things. First thing is, this has like been 3 weeks or so now, and every time we do an episode, we're like, can't wait to get back in. But life hits us, and it's been hard to get 3 out of the 4, definitely not 4 of the 4 of us here, and to be able to do it on the same date and time. So we do apologize for that. Hopefully during the summertime we can get a better schedule for everybody who's eager to see these episodes. So I know there's a lot of you. All right, we'll go over first thing, acknowledgments. We had, again, so we're at the end of all school sports now. Yep. Obviously, school's out.
Put a bow on it.
Yep. Season's over. We have most of our all-state selections, baseball, softball. So, again, we have a list here I'll go over, but this is probably not all of them.
Yeah, true.
This is just the ones that have been reported to us, the best that we can keep up with. So we'll start with baseball. We have Roddy Williams? Roddy Williams from Iowa Park, Kaleem Howard, Jacksboro, Kane Decker of Iowa Park, Isaac Villa of Holiday, Cooper Turner Holiday, Owen Hooper and Chris Chavez of Ryder, Braden Harpool, Riley Atkins of Burke Burnett, Colin McKitty and Jay Kirk from Electra. All first, no, not necessarily first, so first, second, or third team All-State. And then there was also an elite All-State list that came out. So we're not sure exactly which ones are which, but All-State recognition baseball from this area, that's pretty impressive to have that many. And like I said, there's definitely a lot more probably that we're missing.
Yeah, I made the list too this year.
Oh, you did? Was All-State, was it baseball or?
I made it on the show, the game. Did pretty good.
Oh, MLB The Show.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Very good. Congratulations.
What position?
We'll go to softball. All right, softball, we got Kinley Marek. Uh-oh.
Thank you, special guest.
Just gave away one of our special guests, maybe. Kinley Marek and Jordan Peters of Holiday. Jaylee Lowe, Emma Box, Miley Manis, Madison Parker, all from Herald. 4 softball girls made it to 1A All-State.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. Reese Calhoun of Graham, Kylie Tolis, Jacksboro, Remy Buchanan of Electra. And also, I just forgot one that I reposted just a few minutes ago was Lando Belcher from Jacksboro. So for baseball, obviously. But yeah, and I'm sure there's more. If you guys have someone that we didn't list, please share with us. The best thing to do is to tag us on Facebook so that we can just quickly share it. But yeah, that's pretty awesome for baseball and softball to have that many people come from this area to make All-State.
For sure, all of the All-State, and then also shout out to all the young people that made All-District as well. So many of those, we didn't name them all, but
we couldn't list that list.
Kudos to those kids too. I really do feel that this area is like probably one of the strongest areas that I've lived in for softball and baseball. I think we had a lot of teams playing pretty much all the way close to going to state. We didn't have anybody make it to state, but we had quite a few teams that made it. Games before state and
almost
things like
to
that.
the regional tournament,
and
the
then
regional finals.
And then like Jacksboro, nobody expected them to beat Brock.
Yeah.
You know, that was they played Brock extremely well. You know, they didn't beat them, they didn't get over the hump, but they played them extremely well. Because when they won that one game, I was like, what? I was like, what is going on? But I was happy
I saw
for them
that too.
You know, and they played them tight. You know, very close each game. So shout out to those, and that's a testament to. When you get in the playoffs, anything can happen, you know. So shout out to them for that as well.
For sure. I mean, you know, Ryder, Chris Chavez, and Owen Hooper, they are, you know, the end of Team 62, and they were able to end their season, not the way they wanted to, but first team All-State. So that ends WFISD, those 3 schools, like I said, put a bow on it in the end. And as we just keep talking about, you know, a testament of the athletes in the area, baseball and softball wise. Like you said, you took it from me. You know, Jacksboro taking Brock to Game 3. I don't think many people outside of probably Jacksboro had them even winning a game to force a Game 3. And so I don't know what Jacksboro brings back, but I know they're talented because they had a good football run and basketball as well. So hats off to Jacksboro and
Yeah, they had softball girls,
softball girls too. They had a hell of a year this year.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive all around. I mean, we had, and a lot of things you don't realize. Like we got into this at the start of basketball season. It's our kind of our first hat. We didn't really get to start at the beginning of the year, but you see a lot of kids when we're doing this, or hear of a lot of kids that you wouldn't really normally hear of.
Yep.
Like of the Jacksboros, of the Holidays, of the the Iowa Parks and Henriettas and all this, and so it's been cool this whole time to see a lot more kids, and we got one here that we haven't really touched on a lot this year
for sure.
But
And I'll say
we'll be going forward.
One more thing, and hats off to Coach Kirk and Electra. He took them pretty far from where they were
first
last
ever
year.
playoff win.
Yeah, playoff win, district title that they haven't had in probably, I think he told me, 20 some odd years. He'll correct me, or Electra correct me. So they had a hell of a year as well, baseball. So,
and not to discredit the previous Herald seasons or athletes, but they're really on the map now too. With that group of girls and even boys over there doing some good things. So we'll move on real quick and we'll talk about local athletes. We have 2 local athletes here that participated in our All-Star game. They were actually voted on, and they were our MVPs.
yeah.
We have Ty Scott from the boys' side and Kenna Wood from the girls' side. So will you guys just say hello to everybody, and thanks for watching.
But I just want to say, if you wasn't there, you missed a dang good show. I mean, with the way it all worked out for us. I mean, it started. Us 4 had a long day, starting at 8 a.m. And game started at 9 or 10, should I say? But obviously having to open and set up, and we were there all day long. But you missed a hell of a time if you was not there. So we had a great first year, and we'll go into it on this episode.
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, we want to thank all our sponsors.
Yes.
Without our sponsors, we would have had a very hard time making all this happen. We did a lot of cool things, I think, for the athletes. They got a jersey, which they paid for. Mm-hmm. Okay, they got rings, which were awesome. If you haven't seen a ring, probably just watch some of our Facebook stuff or our videos coming up, because I'll show the rings. They were Omarion did a great job getting those rings for us.
Wait, thank you. Yeah, the rings are something that I think is cool and unique. But what made them even more cool and unique, we were able to customize the rings to be the On the Sideline rings. And I mean, I would say, I'm not sure that companies do this, but I wouldn't be shocked if some of the rings that you go spend $400 or $500 come from the same place that we got our rings, because they're nice rings. They're heavy. You wouldn't be able to tell me that. We know they're not real diamonds, because we ain't got that type of money.
I told my son.
We ain't got that type of money. If I was rich, I still probably wouldn't.
Hey, it's still blinging.
But they do bling in the sun. I had mine on my pinky the other day, and I was like,
just wearing it out like to eat.
Somebody, just showing out with the rings. But I think the rings are cool for the kids to get. It's something that they can appreciate. And then just overall, like I said, I think the event in itself was something that's never been done in Wichita Falls. That's what we set out to do. I think in all my years, I've never been to an All-Star game was that competitive. Normally, it's kind of All-Stars are kind of taken more as a joke, but that's kudos to the kids that played in it. They took it serious. They got after it, and it was just great. It was a great atmosphere from start to finish.
For sure.
Thank you, sponsors, and thank you.
Yeah,
CDB.
let's go over our sponsors real quick, because, like I said, without them, we wouldn't have been able to do hardly anything. We had Oscar Aerial Spraying that sponsored us. 2K13 Explosion Softball Team sponsored us. Will Riley, Napa Auto Parks at Burke Burnett, he sponsored us. Nissan of Wichita Falls came in huge right there towards the end and gave us, a very good sponsorship as well. ISP, as always, we work with those guys. They're great for T-shirts and all kinds of stuff that they do, and they were a huge part of it. And United Regional also gave and was a big part of it as well. There was other sponsors and other, supporters and stuff. We want to thank them too. We can't list everybody, but really it's the fans, the parents, the players, the coaches that came out and made it all successful, which was pretty awesome. And then special thanks to Don at Third Creative who came and set up his whole. I don't know if everybody got to see that in the back, but I mean, this guy went all out. He had a whole studio propped up back there and was taking the pictures, which we posted a few sneak peeks, but the rest will be coming soon. They were awesome, man. The media was cool. The pictures are awesome. I guess what I want to know is from Evan and O, like, and I have a list of things too, but what was one thing that really stood out, from the All-Star event that was like just either inspiring or, you know, just something that you didn't think would happen or whatever?
I have two things. First, I'm a little jealous that I didn't get to take a picture at that set.
Me
I know, I
too,
thought
man.
about that
My
too.
fit was fly. I was ready too.
I would have came in a 3-piece suit.
Nah, my fit was fly.
I would have been ready to model. That man was like, I was complaining a little bit. I was giving the kids, I'm like, what are y'all doing back here taking forever? And I started looking. I was like, no wonder you kind of feel like a
Kenna
a
Wood and the rest of the ladies.
superstar. The girls took up all the time. I'm not gonna even lie. They were back there just smiling for the cameras. I'm like,
it was prom again for them.
yeah. So I think the highlight for me of the evening was, I think I'm gonna wait to talk about some of that, but the highlight for me was just the competitive nature of the event. These kids got after it. I did not expect the kids to compete like that, because normally when you go, you kind of build a relationship with most of those kids. They know each other. You know, it's crazy and unique how kids talk, and you don't realize how much they talk to each other through social media. And even if it's just talking crap, they do it all the time. But so you had an opportunity to have kids and then play with each other, play against each other. And I think overall, that the atmosphere was good. The competitive nature was there, but it didn't get out of hand. A lot of times when I think we associate being competitive with being aggressive, and there's two different things of being a competitor and just doing things that you don't need to do. And these kids, to me, didn't do that. They played well within the realms of being a competitor. And then I think my overall, I think the biggest, outside of that, the biggest highlight for me is just seeing so many community members coming out and being supportive of the event. When we first started in the morning, it was kind of few people there. But as we picked up, you know, especially during those All-Star games, you had, I feel like every community was represented well with people coming out. So that was a good thing. So I think that was my highlights of just the kids being competitive and then the support from the community.
Well, he took one of mine, and I was going to say the fans. You know, the fans helped make the event. Obviously, the players coming. So getting the fans coming and helping us out, making a first good impression and a long-lasting impression. It talking about the competitive nature, it fueled the players in the game. You know, we had a little twist towards the end. We didn't play all 4 quarters. We had an Elam ending, and for you who don't know what an Elam ending is, we had a target score at the end of the first dead ball of 4 minutes. I can't remember exactly. The girls went to 60. I do know that. Is that correct?
It was 51-51 for the girls,
Yeah.
and 63-63 for the boys before the Indians.
Which was the crazy thing.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
We talked about it. What, my idea?
Back and forth.
We talked about it, and it ended up
First
working
of all, I
out.
want to thank me. I
Want to thank myself. Yeah. And when we explained it to the fans, they had no idea. They were like, "What?" Like I said, it was the first dead ball under the 4 minutes, and like I said, you're going back to it. It's a target score, so instead of playing the rest of the game out where the clock is involved and where there's a little stall ball and free throw game, the target score was 60 for the girls, and like I said, the boys had their target score, and it ended up being, I think the fans ended up loving it because you no longer had to play the clock game. It was, now I got to stop this person on defense. Or when it came down to the boys, one team needed a 3 and the other one needed a 2. You know what I mean? And so that and how the fans got involved and how the players, it made it a more competitive nature at the end. It ended up being great for us.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the biggest thing with the Elam, which, again, like you said, we went back and forth and we were like, because we were like, what if it's a 20-point difference, you know, this or that. But one thing that I realized afterwards is like the Elam ending guarantees a game-winning shot, which is excitement.
Yep.
It also guarantees that somebody's going to play defense.
Yes.
Like all 5 players are going to play defense at least for that 8 points or whatever it was.
The game-winning shot, exactly.
So that's pretty awesome. But the most impressive thing to me in regards to that was that both teams were tied at that point. So like the All-Star game a couple of years ago did the Elam ending, and it's a difference because they had 12-point differential or something, which again is kind of interesting. But for both these games to be tied at that moment was impressive, and I think that goes back to us and how evenly we matched the teams with the All-Stars. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because, I want to thank me. I want to thank
yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so I mean that's really what it goes back to is like, both games had an early lead in the front or in the first quarter, and like, oh wow. You're like, well, I'm sitting back like,
yeah, I think after the girls,
did we get these uneven?
14-3
or
17-3 after the first
and then,
quarter.
slowly come back just like good teams do. When you got a team full of all-stars, I mean, that's what's going to happen. So I think that's really, really awesome how that ended.
And I'll say one more thing in this about this. We ended up pulling out 20, we had our best 20 boys and our best 20 girls that we thought deserved the invite. And we ended up, I think 7-7 on both sides, boys and girls. And so, for whatever reason that you did not participate, you missed out. I'll just keep it at that. We had one guy, he was sick because of not COVID, but he got sick. And so that's understandable, but you missed out on a hell of an event if you were chosen for this selection. And these guys these two will tell you about it because I think they enjoyed it, and you can speak.
I will say one thing I do want to say about it is how the selection. There's a bunch of great talent in Wichita, the Wichita County surrounding areas. That's the hard part. So when we do rankings, we do rankings according to just little things like coaches are able to send in stats and highlights. Coaches, we need you. We're only trying to be an avenue for the kids in this community. So when we're like asking for stats, we're not trying to look stats and make comparisons and make everybody else look different or bad. We just want to give the kids the credit that they deserve. The reason I say that is because we didn't get a whole bunch of stats from certain schools and stuff, but we had two young ladies that were able to get picked up, and one of them hit the game-winning shot. She wasn't originally one of the people that was in our 20, but what we did was we had our 20, and then as people told us no, we kind of brainstormed, kind of put our heads together just from stuff that we've seen from kids in the past, and we were able to get some other selections. One of our guests, Ty, he made our list because we have our On the Sideline. So he was one of the kids that's been talked about all year, but we also try to give just to the kids that actually made the rankings at some point. But he also hit a game winner. So that's a testament that we don't always get it 100% right, but we also, too, he was a kid that was on our watch list, but I can guarantee that nobody would say that he didn't deserve to be there. So I know there's probably somebody like, he never was on the ranking list, and why was he there? Well, he showed it was a reason that he was selected, and he showed without he showed why he belonged there. And another thing, neither one of us said this, but the coolest thing I think was both game winners were hit from the same corner.
Yeah,
the
same spot.
The exact same spot. Both. Maybe that's the sweet spot. Maybe.
That corner three, baby. I mean, I don't know. It could be.
I mean, literally the exact same spot. Both of them hit it, and it was just like. And I want to say both teams, the teams that had the black jerseys on, won the game as well. So. If you wear light colored jerseys, maybe it ain't meant for you to win.
And they were both on that sideline too. That was crazy. So I don't know.
Yeah. So look out for O's crazy statistics with colored jerseys and positions and
coming to you soon.
Break the number one player. All those stats you get on TNT and stuff is like he scored.
And that was on the visitor side too. That normally sit on CB. Maybe we need to switch that up. Home and
I'll tell you something that kind of irked me. And this is just me being a complainer, but there was some kids that were withheld from the. I'm not going to say kids' names. I'm not going to say schools or anything like that. But there was kids withheld from the All-Star game for whatever reason, and that kind of sucks for them because, like Coach Hearn said, they missed out. And you know who you are, so fix it. Okay. Another thing. This is just me going on my little soapbox because it kind of irks me. We didn't have And we didn't need them.
No.
We didn't have any local media there covering that event. And we reached out to them multiple times. And so, but like you said, you know, you hear in this small town that things never grow, things never, you know, keep going, things never succeed because they don't have support. But we're going to prove it to you that we don't need everybody's support, but we do appreciate everybody that does support us. So we'll go through that real quick. But anyways, let's get to our special guests. They've been sitting here quiet, minding their own business, smiling, and we are glad y'all are here. First, I want to talk to ladies first, actually. Let's go to Miss Kenna Wood. If you could just, oh, here we go. Did y'all hear that?
Hand clap.
See? Okay.
The two MVPs, right?
Yeah, MVPs. I mean, and we had a lot of great players. We had a lot of great statistics, but you two clearly stood out amongst your teams. Your coaches clearly said that, and we all voted, and y'all were the ones that came out on top. Before we get too far, I want to see, Kenna, will you just like tell us about yourself, like where you went? Because this is for everybody who may not know who you are. Just a little something about yourself, where you're from, you know, where you're going to school, all that good stuff.
Okay, I'm from Holiday. I've gone to Holiday my whole entire life. I currently am about to go to Angelo State for basketball.
Go Bills.
I've played volleyball, basketball, and track all throughout high school, and basketball was just always my favorite. So, yeah.
And we could say you excelled at it. That's for sure. And Ty, what about you? Just, you know, for the people.
My name is Todd Scott. I'm from Vernon, Texas, but I lived in Wichita for about 2.5 years, and I went back to Vernon. I played football, basketball, and I ran track. People ask me a tough question. What's my favorite out of football and basketball? I can't answer it.
Really?
I can't.
Well, you're great at both.
Thank you.
And again, sorry from us for not really, you know, you may feel like we didn't cover you as much as we should have, but you proved that. And you know for the next 2 years, you're going to be on our list for sure.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to know that personally.
Hey, when they say us, them too, not me.
Well,
I was coaching. I'll stay out of it.
But anyway.
What did you say?
I don't know what he said.
I said y'all too.
Anyway, hey, we're glad you're here. Again, MVPs. We'll just, you know, pop off random questions. But my first question, and we'll just kind of go around the room. But I'd like to know if you want to take a break. I'm just kidding. No, actually, it is break time. So we'll get back to the questions. Let's take a quick break here for our sponsors, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
At Orthopedics Express, our primary focus is delivering exceptional care to patients with orthopedic injuries, such as sprains, strains, broken bones, and joint pain. You'll receive the expert care you need when you need it most. Simply walk in or schedule an appointment through MyChart. Located inside the Center for Advanced Orthopedics, Orthopedics Express is your fast track to orthopedic care.
The realtor we trust is Kim Rowart, given to others with love. Kim was raised in this community and has been selflessly serving for over 20 years. Kim encourages everyone to thrive in their purpose. Kim is part of the Homes for Heroes program, where she gives back a portion of her commissions from each closing to all military, firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare, and educators who use her services. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kim is the realtor for you. Go check out the website at homesforheroes.com. Since starting from scratch in 2020 by longtime resident of Clay County, Bob Belcher, Duck Creek Disposal has quickly become one of the most trusted waste disposal service and dumpster rental companies serving the 940 community and the surrounding areas. Local to the core, they take immense pride in being a part of the Wichita Falls community. Duck Creek Disposal's deep roots mean that every customer is treated like a neighbor. Their promise is to guarantee the best customer experience in the area, and they live by it. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or business, they've tailored their services to suit varied requirements. Bob's hands-on approach and belief in personal connection means that when you call Duck Creek Disposal, you're experiencing a standard of service that Bob himself envisioned. You talk to real people, not a machine. Go give Bob a call at 940-257-5660. Serving the 940 community for 12 years, Allegiance Electric and Controls is the trusted go-to for commercial and industrial electrical solutions. Contact them for reliable, tailored services to keep your operations running smoothly. Please call or visit their website at aecllc.com. For all your paving and concrete needs, we trust Freeman Paving, LLC. Located in Vernon, Texas, Freeman Paving is our recommended business for concrete, paving, and dirt work. They have over 20 years of experience working right here in our community. Next time you need any concrete work, give them a call, 940-552-9496. If you're looking to treat yourself to a delicious dessert, then Yogurt Journey is the place to be. Yogurt Journey offers 12 delicious flavors of frozen yogurt with over 60 topping options. If you want something warm instead, stop by to enjoy an amazing funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried brownies, or fried candy. Yogurt Journey also offers frozen yogurt rolls, waffle frozen yogurt rolls, and smoothies. If you need a cake for your next celebration, Yojo provides custom frozen yogurt cakes. Yogurt Journey is located on Kemp Street across from Barwise Middle School and is open daily from 12 to 9 p.m. For all your roofing related needs, we choose Assured Roofing and Construction. At Assured Roofing and Construction, their hard work is based off honesty, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that every customer gets what they deserve and is happy and stress-free throughout the entire process. When any storm damage occurs to your roof, gutters, fencing, or siding, Assured will have you covered and help you from the initial free inspection to filing your claim, meeting with adjusters, and getting your damaged property fixed properly. Give AJ a call at 940-782-1194. All right. We're back here on the sideline. We have our special guests, Ty Scott and Kenna Wood, both MVPs from the All-Star game this past weekend. We're excited to have them here, and we're going to start with some questions because they've been patiently waiting, and now they're eager to answer questions, I can tell.
I'll go first.
All right, you go first. I want you to.
First question is, how did y'all like the shooting contest? Like, was that pretty fun? Or?
Oh, yeah.
It was a fun experience.
Pretty fun.
I think it was, like, I didn't really know what to expect coming in for it to be a shooting competition, but I think it was, like, friendly, and then it was also competitive, so it wasn't, like, it didn't last forever, and you got to have I got to play or be a partner with someone I've never even, like, talked to, and it was nice to,
Make
like,
a bond.
Yeah,
nice.
that was cool. Ty, your team won, right?
Yeah, he's a champ.
Okay, that was MVP.
He got two
I
trophies.
think we won.
No.
Now, Kenna and Jeremiah was my
head-to-head.
They were my picks. I
picked Ty and Landry after
we
the
got
first round.
screwed.
But so it was okay. Okay, let me explain. All right, because a lot of people were upset about this. In fact, I got hate mail, people threatening my life. No, I'm just kidding. But so what happened was Kenna's team with Jeremiah, they made a shot. Okay, but here's the thing. And why I got waved off.
Tell me about
You're supposed to alternate. You're supposed to alternate shots. So what happened was Jeremiah took 2 shots before Kenna took her shot. So Jeremiah's second shot was in the air. Kenna's shot came and hit off his shot and ended up going in.
It's called a bank.
I mean,
I liked it. I thought it was cool, but rules are rules. So Jeremiah should have never shot. Had he not shot, his ball would not have been there, and Kenna's ball would not have been able to hit it and go in. So
Mom, what do you think?
That's how it happened. Oh, Mom says it's fair. Okay, Ty, bring that. Where's that trophy at? We got to give it back. He don't got it. Okay. No, so I'm going to piggyback off of O's with the shooting contest. Like, again, this was our first event. This is our first time to have something like this. But would more events like that be kind of cool to, like, maybe a 3-point shooting contest? Because we were strapped for time, really, with everything. And so the next one we may be in, thinking about having more time or even another day for the events and everything. So, like, what would you say another event or another couple events along with a shoot, something like that? Like, would that be more fun, or would that just kind of drag out, or, like, what do you think?
I feel like it would be a good idea.
Just to have more
more competition, more bonding with each other.
Okay. What do you think? I mean, you're going to be gone, but you can lead the way for everybody else.
If we lower the goals down, let the girls do a dunk contest. That would be pretty cool.
All right, we're jotting it down.
Trampoline?
We're jotting it down. That would be cool.
Somebody might
get very cool.
They might get
all right, hey.
So I go 2 questions. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to go twofold. This twofold.
Yeah. Come on, brother.
So this, you talk about what could we do better. Just simple answer. Do you guys think maybe a practice, if you guys would have had a practice with your team, would have benefited, or because it was ended up being a great game, and you guys did not practice. Do you think that could help benefit, or are y'all okay without it? Maybe getting to know your teammates and coach as well.
I feel like the practice would be a good idea to know everybody's like what they got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a practice would be great, but I also think that the coaches did a great job with like just helping everybody fit in, and yeah, I think the coaches did great.
Okay. And so the second question I have is, once again, Elam ending, my idea. It was great. What you guys had no idea.
Shame on you.
You guys had no idea. Had y'all heard of it before? You had? Okay. So, I mean, you had no idea that we were going to do that, but what did it, starting with you, Kenna, first, I mean, the games was both tied when we did it. So what did you think of, okay, hey, no clock, first one to the girls was 60, and what was the boys? I can't remember. 73. So what did you guys think of, hey, there's no clock, now it's just time to play basketball? Go ahead, Kenna, you first.
Yeah, I like it because mainly if one of the teams would have got up, then it would have been like a fouling game and hold the ball. And with that Elam ending, it made it to where everyone had to play defense, like y'all said earlier, and it was just
There you go.
Ty?
I felt it brought out the competition in all of us and made us actually want to try harder.
Well, and that was the beauty of it, because like you said, it made you try harder, got to get defensive stop, and like you said, you couldn't stall and play the foul game.
So my next question is, this is for you, Ty. I'm gonna just let the apples out the bag. So let's get straight to it. So Grayson Rigdon came in, and I feel like he came in with a chip on his shoulder. Rightfully so. Shout out to him for coming in and being willing to compete. A lot of people said that he didn't have game. He was a 1A kid. I was highly impressed with how he played from a kid, because honestly, Grayson, I love you, but I was one of those people. I was like, let me see how he plays with other talented kids. I knew he was a great football player. I had seen him play football for years, so I've never really physically seen him play basketball. But I feel like he kind of knew that. I don't know if there was any tweets or anything amongst each other talking smack, but he came in to prove a point that, hey, I belong and I could play. I think the first play of the game, he took Ty to the goal and he told him he's too little. I feel like Ty took that personal, which I love that about him, the competitive. And after that, we seen a different Ty Scott. I mean, I was like, this dude here is like out for blood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Defense, knocking down shots. So I guess my question would be, because it was all in fun first and foremost, but how did you in those moments, and this is just period, in those moments when a player's mouthy with you, how does it turn you on to another gear like that?
Well, first, don't get me wrong, Grayson Rigdon, he's a good athlete, but when we all came into the game, we didn't know how we was gonna take it, like joke around or be competitive, and once he did that, it pushed me to another button, and it made me want to go harder.
Yeah, and I think I'll just say this about Grayson Rigdon is that kid he's different.
Mm-hmm.
Like one thing I will say about him that I noticed was when all the other boys was up there, shooting the bird, chilling, hanging out, watching the girls. This dude Grayson was in the back gym doing stretching.
He was on his Kobe mode.
Like he was locked in. So I think like him being that competitive, that's just his nature. Like we talk about, like that's just what he does. And so, I mean, we're not trying to like bash nobody or nothing, but like the ending, we all saw the ending where he, y'all got in each other's face. But again, I think that was a competitive, all for fun type thing. No bad blood. I don't think between you guys ain't sending each other hate messages or nothing. So, I mean, we'd clear that up. And just so everybody knows, like, yeah, I mean, it was all fun, and so, I mean, I think, both of you were probably, I know that both of y'all were mouthing each other, but that's, like you said, we love it. I love that kind of stuff. That's great content for my video. But, I just want everybody to know that there's no bad blood. Like, this wasn't an event to attack anybody or do anything like that. So,
It was good. I think what happens is in male and female sports, we say girls are not aggressive enough, and then we say boys are too aggressive. Instead of just allowing the game to be the game, when you have two competitors that are extremely competitive, there's going to be some jawing. I always tell the kids when you're jawing, make sure you're also your own brand. Make sure that the things that come out of your mouth is not something that can be used against you later on. None of that happened, but I always remind the kids that because you're your brand. You never know who's watching, when they're watching, or what's being recorded and what's being sent out. So the good thing about it is I felt like the young men were heated. Ty was like, yeah, when he made the shot. Grayson said what he said, but at the end, I think that's the part nobody watched is Grayson come over there and dap him up and dap the Darius up and then just let it be what it was.
And he had the issue at the end of the state game too. And the other, like you said, the things you don't see was you don't see that Grayson stayed after and took a bunch of pictures with little kids and, like did all this kind of stuff with little kids. Like that kid, I mean, Grayson Rigdon is like a well-known athlete in the whole nation, because of what he did, so for him to come down and do that, I think it was awesome. But again, I think it was awesome that, you got him right there at the end. You got him in his face too. I'm just being real because I love it. That's just what I do.
And that brings attention to your area as well, So I think it was a win-win situation. On the girls' side, I mentioned Addie Williams being able to hit that game winner on her end. But Kenyon, I guess my question for you would be you the whole game. I feel like you did a great job of facilitating. Not only facilitating, kind of accepting multiple roles, whether I had to handle the ball, whether I needed to get down on the block, whether I need to drive and kick. And it's to me, it was unique to have you on one team doing that, but then also having Skylar Smith on the other team, kind of being the seniors, kind of leading the way, both being well-known seniors. And then just with Skylar, I noticed that she started out, she took a back seat at first. I think she was kind of figuring out how everybody was. And you, on the other hand, you took the opposite approach of you came out with, hey, let me insert myself and then let me get my teammates involved. My question for you would be is how did it compare to playing with this group of girls, this many All-Stars? How did it differ from playing in season, or did it differ at all?
Yeah, it definitely differed because, me personally, I've never played against my teammate. So Bailey, my friend, was on the other team.
That was cool. We did that on purpose.
And it's like we were excited because we've never got to play against each other. And also the fact that, I will never play with those girls that I played with this past weekend. And I think it was cool to get to all ages, get to play with a bunch of girls that knew how to play the basketball. And, this was their sport. And they loved it, and it was just you could trust everyone that you passed it to. So I think it was a lot.
So I'll touch on that too, and twofold. We're just going to do two things every time.
Twofold.
So being with a group of those All-Stars like that, I mean, realistically, when you go to college next season, that's what it's going to be like because all of those girls are going to be All-Stars. That's how it works. When they go to college, they're All-Stars that go to college. So that's kind of cool that I don't know, it's going to transition some way. But my thing that pointed out or that stood out most to me was you and Taylor Fields, how well y'all were in the backcourt and how well y'all just fed off of each other. That was huge. Again, Taylor and you both had a great game. Either one could have been MVP. But, I don't know. I just sat back and watched. I've coached Taylor since she was little, And so to see her mix that well, it was almost watching that y'all been on the same team for, years. Because y'all just played so well. So I thought that was really pretty cool to see that.
For sure. Taylor did her thing. I think with Taylor, her biggest thing is watching her earlier in the day. I've watched her play in the Burke games. I think it was a relief to have somebody, not have her have to have the ball in her hand the entire time. She's normally what I would say 90% of the time has the ball in her hand, having to do the facilitating and the different things like that. So having you to kind of take it where she could become more of a slasher, do different things to really show her really the type of basketball player she is. Because sometimes I think she gets labeled as being like a person that does one thing, that shoot threes and just good passer, but she showed that she played defense. She did different things that helped her out. I think just blossomed for her to do the different things. But I think you like he was saying, just the gelling enough. Y'all, and then y'all's big man. I'm like, she was killing Lauren. I was like, she was a monster down there underneath, and that kind of took a little bit away from what you sometimes have to do for Holiday, is get down there and crash the boards a little bit. And I think the teams were, again, Jeff, we did a good job of
I
putting
want
the
to thank
teams,
myself.
Thank myself.
I want to thank me.
Yep. So it's pretty much, I think overall, for me, I think both of you guys led your teams. Y'all did a really, really good job. It shocked me how well everybody meshed well together. So, Evan, you got another question?
Yeah, so hopefully this ain't a twofold question, but
Onefold.
and each of you take your time and answer. This is going to be a twofold question. First, what was your biggest takeaway? Like, what did you enjoy about the All-Star game? Was it the pictures? Was it playing with different people? As you said, Kenna, playing against your teammates. Like, what was the biggest takeaway that you guys will remember about this All-Star game?
Me personally, it's just playing with people that I never would have got a chance to play with. Like playing with Taylor, it was awesome. I love playing with people that understand the game, and it just makes it like more enjoyable. And then, everyone else just getting to play with new people.
All the local athletes coming up and competing with each other. And one thing like Kenna said, playing against your teammate, I had to play against Julius Dawkins for the first time. And me and him got chippy, but
I was
it was just
getting
better than
chipped
this.
That was cool.
And I guess the second part of that is, with you, Kenna, being a senior and Ty, with you being a sophomore. So, Kenna, thank you for being a first participant in our All-Star game. Would you say that this is something that you would want to do again, or you would promote for your teammates at Holiday or other athletes around?
Yes, definitely. I just think it was just a great opportunity for everyone around to get to play with each other, like I said again. And, I would definitely recommend it for the girls that are wanting to spread just get more known.
All right, go Ty.
It was, for these next 2 years, I'm looking forward to coming back.
Oh, 2 years.
I would spread it.
I
I would
like
spread it
it.
to the 940 and get everybody up here.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll piggyback off that and say, what would, if you do come back, Kenna, you never know, you could be invited back as a coach.
Coach MVP.
Jot it. But what would be one thing that you would either do more of or do less of? Like, what would be one change, positive or negative, that you would say about the All-Star game, the whole experience?
I think everything was well rounded. I think it was a good experience and all.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't have any complaints.
No complaints? Okay.
I'm really surprised I said Taylor. I'm really surprised Kenna or Ty. See, I think that's probably where it came in at. None of you said your experience of back there on the camera. With how social media works and all of that.
Yeah, how was the camera? Because I know that was fun.
Me and O was working.
I know about to have new Facebook profile pictures. Y'all probably haven't got to see all your pictures yet, though. It's coming soon. So, how was that? Like, was that pretty cool? Y'all probably do that for school too. Mm-hmm. Probably the same guy, Don, that comes and does it. But yeah, anything y'all want to say on that? Like, we had ideas to maybe do some like interviews and stuff back there, but it was just so hectic. We didn't get to have the people back there we wanted. So that's, coming in the future. But would there have been anything else back there that would have been kind of cool? Or did you guys enjoy the photos? Or was it pretty fun to talk trash? I know the guys were like talking trash and the girls were like, oh, do this. It's like, but was that cool? Was that something you'd want to see again next year?
Most definitely.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like a college media day. It kind of gave everyone a little bit of something they're not used to. I think it was
The girls took like an hour and a half though, so
I got it.
We had to wait for a
perfect
long
idea
time
for next year.
Yeah, we need to.
Camera. We pregame fit like a catwalk. Like it's coming. How they're. You seeing seeing how they're dressed up.
Don't tell our ideas. Oh, yeah, sorry. It's listening.
I don't know about no catwalks.
But I think that she hit the nail on the head when she said a media day. That was what
That was what we were going for.
That was the idea of what we were going for. And we want to try to create as many culture opportunities of where the kids are headed. And so I guess my last and final question, you guys have been great on the show, but for me, my last question is, for you guys are both great athletes, I would say. I would consider you in the top in the area of athletes in what you guys do. How important is it for the media to give you guys avenues like this, to not only for publicity but for self-worth? We'll start with Kenna, since she's a young lady. She's graduating, so I know she's been in Wichita Falls doing this for 4 years. I want to give an opportunity to just explain how media can not only enhance your opportunities to play at the next level, and how does the media help you believe in what you're doing is value.
Yeah, so like I had to go to Dallas for like all my high school years just to get noticed and stuff. So I think it's awesome that you're trying to start to spread it here so that people don't always have to drive that far. And I also think that when you put rankings online, it makes people push harder and push themselves to get better at their craft.
Okay, Ty?
Like Kenneth said, when you put the rankings up there, it gives people a chip to work harder. Not to bring down our media, but what y'all doing is great for the community.
So y'all notice the rankings.
Yes, sir.
You know where you're at. Okay. Job done. Job well done. All right, I got another question. My last question. Unless you want to. You good?
I'm surprised O didn't ask his infamous question.
Oh, yeah, you got to get that real quick.
That's going to be on the back end, bro.
Oh, okay.
That's how we close the show.
Oh,
Well, I'll
okay.
just ask
No, go
that. Well, you know the question. Everybody know what the question is. What's your favorite pregame meal? I got to ask everybody that.
Favorite pregame meal? I'll probably go some pasta.
Pasta.
I say pizza.
Pizza. Okay.
Do you do that for track too? Because we had Bregan in here. She talked about how she had to change her diet before, or change how she ate. I can't remember what she had.
She was doing a lot of pasta, but
That's
she
what it
went
was.
to chicken. I
Yeah,
think, is what
she was
said.
like, I can't do that no more. So you do that in track as well? Both of you get?
Yes, sir.
So you pasta and you pizza in track? You don't care? Well-tuned
You know,
athlete.
Kenna's she's a thrower, so
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
she
okay.
needs as much energy as possible.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
So she's amazing at that too. If you've never seen a girl put that shot put out there in the distance, she does a great job at that.
All right, I'll go with my question. We talked briefly in the break, but, you came into this event. We kind of tried to advertise that there's one MVP trophy. Here on the sideline, we don't believe in co-MVPs. Okay, we don't believe in co-offensive players of the year. We don't believe in none of that. All right, we believe there's one, and then whoever doesn't get it, they work harder next time. That's pretty much how it goes. You guys were selected as MVPs, clearly. When you found out, or if you didn't find out, whatever, how was your mindset? I mean, did you come in saying, all right, I'm going to be MVP? Or did you say, I'll just play and then see what happens? I mean, because there's two different mentalities. There's the, I'm going to go get that. I'm going to set my goal on it. I'm going to go get it. And then there's the, more laid back. I'll just let my game do the talking and we'll go from there. Like, what was each of y'all's mentality? We'll start with Kenna.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to win the game. So I was going to do whatever I had to do to try to win the game. So, I mean, I knew there was probably going to be an MVP, but, I mean, that wasn't my main focus. So, yeah.
So team player mentality. That's did you practice that?
Did you really want? Okay, and this is on the air, and you can be honest. Tell the truth. You wanted to win because your friend was on the other team, right? Bragging
I can't
rights.
let her win. I can't let her win.
Yeah, bragging rights for sure.
It was because this was the first ever. She's going to go down as the first ever. I mean, 20 years from now, she's going to look back and be like, I won the MVP the first time. Yeah. The first ever. And Ty's going to do the same thing. So what was your mentality? What was your...
Well, coming into it, when you had came to the back gym and told us there's only one MVP trophy, Ray did made that face like, oh, yeah, I'm getting that. So at first, I wasn't really just, like she said, just trying to win. When he said that like, all right, I'm going to show you I'm going to win the MVP.
Because I was taking books, and he had
his team won.
He had a hell of a first half,
Yeah,
for sure.
He scored 20 points, I
And
think, in
then,
the first quarter.
20 in the first half, and Ty came back. I think Ty had 19
18.
in the second
Stark
half. Him and Jackson Stark both had 22.
Had the same, and then you hit the game winner.
He hit the game winner. We was like, I got to give him. But shout out to Jackson Stark. You
Huge
played really
game.
well, too.
Another player that, we have our sights on now.
And we
didn't get to see much of Windthorst play
I was about
basketball.
to say, touched on
And
it while
so-
we were there. Is the smaller schools came and showed out.
They did, which is
weekend.
exciting because
Yes.
that gives us more to look forward to next
Yes.
year. I mean,
Yes.
we're going to come through more athletes, of course, but
And I think our community, it's a blessing for us to showcase that, because our community is made up of more small schools. We have more 3A, 2A
Yes.
around here. I think we only 2 5As and 1 4A school now.
Yep.
And Burke is the only really true big schools we have around here. Now that Iowa Park and Vernon are 3A big school right now. So I mean, it just shows the testament of, and most of these kids have played with each other since they were little. We have a competitive drive. I say we. I'm not from Wichita Falls. I've been here since 2004, so this is home for me. My son plays sports here. I really do think that this area needs more publicity. So hopefully what we're doing can do that. I dream big. I'm gonna go out and say it on the air. I want us to be as big as what a 24/7 Sports is one day. And they started in a small area. They started doing the things that we were doing, and look at where they're at now. So you have to start in your area before you can blossom. But that's part of the reason why the Dallas area gets so much coverage that it does, because you have so many hubs of little things that started like us that now are considered big. So we're going to be there one day, but it's not about us. It's never been about us. It's always been about the kids in this community. We want to see the kids in the community get the love that they deserve. And I feel like this weekend we were able to achieve our goal, which is to create an event, a fun event, a family event, a fun, competitive drive, and memories. Most kids will remember this for the rest of their lives. Like, hey, I remember stuff when I participated in, and especially for our seniors, Kenya, this will be something that she remembers. This gave her an opportunity to play. I'm pretty sure, but she's one of your good friends, Bailey. She's one of your good friends. Probably been friends since y'all were close to diapers. You know what I'm saying? So you got to close out an opportunity, and you have a one-up on her for the rest of her life. She'll never be able to live that down.
yeah, Ty's going to bust Juju all day.
Yeah, so they'll never be able to live that down. So, we talk. It's just memories like that, and that's what it's about. Creating an atmosphere, creating exposure, while creating memories at the same time.
Yeah, very well said. And we are about the kids here, and we want to thank y'all for being the kids that we get to. We enjoy doing what we're doing, and if we didn't have kids like y'all to do it, I mean, that would keep us from doing what we're doing. So thank you guys for being great athletes and allowing us to cover you guys and to allow us to watch y'all play, because I love watching sports, man. That's all I bleed sports, and to be able to watch you guys play. I've watched Kenna now for 2 years. Ty, I'll be honest, I haven't got to see much of you, but I will be seeing much of you in the next 2 years. So again, thanks. And we got anything else you guys want to just?
Kenna, you're about to go to college, and Ty, you still have another 2 years. Kenna, what I want to know is that MVP trophy going to be going to San Angelo, or is it staying at the parents' house?
I don't know. I'll have to figure it out.
Oh, dang.
And where is it right now? Where's y'all's trophies at? Are y'all?
Mine's in the car.
Ty's like in the back seat.
He carried it with his car.
Ty's got 2 of them.
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Kenna?
Mine's in my room.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Did y'all put your rings up? Did y'all like those rings?
That was awesome.
I like the rings a lot.
Yeah. Wear it on your pinky, so it's a good spot for it.
Do you guys have anything else for us?
Thank y'all for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, and such late notice. I mean, I think I messaged y'all's parents, or you and your parents, like last night or something, or this morning, yesterday. Yeah. So thanks for coming on short notice. Thanks for chit-chatting with us, hanging out. Best of luck to you next year and your next few years in San Angelo State. And Ty, good luck to you and your Lions, and we'll be you'll see me in my camera on your sidelines. And if nothing else, then thanks again. Appreciate y'all coming.
You.
Mom, thanks for bringing her and or hanging out. Anything you got to say?
No, I just appreciate y'all very much. Sports is our life too, and this is great. I love the coverage, and y'all do a great job.
Thank you.
Up to date with everything. I love just going to your page and seeing, okay, this is where you are. What are we doing? Yeah, it's a great thing.
Thank you. And we did, I mean, real quick, I don't know about you guys, but I got reached out to by a ton of people about how successful the event was, how great the games were, how fun it was. I had somebody say we were there for like 12 hours. Like, that's about as long as we was there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool that people came and I know we talked about this, but there was no way that we even imagined. I mean, we were sitting there the night before saying, man, I hope we get, 200 people. I hope we get 200, or, whatever.
Hope we get some people.
But we had a huge amount, way more than we ever thought of, I think. And
great.
That goes out
impression.
to all the people support of the community. And sorry, I did make a post about this, but the athletes that were there were very well behaved. They were very well respectful on how we had things set up. They just went with the flow. They didn't have any complaints. They didn't cause any issues. So that goes out to the parents. I want to say thank you, doing a great job with the kids, not only raising great kids, or great athletes, but great kids as well. So thank you.
Also, I think Evan mentioned it, but also huge shout out to City View for allowing us to be there. Coach Jackson for being our administrator that was there on site. I know having to come up there on a Saturday when that's, especially in the summertime, and willing to be there. We appreciate you for being that and doing that for us, and just everybody that, had a hand in it.
And the refs.
The refs, they did a good job. And they didn't even know about the ending. And that was what was cool, because I thought they was like, man, I'm tired.
Yeah. I asked the refs, we did let them know about the Elam ending was a possibility, and both of them, there was just two at the time. He said, we're here for the kids, so whatever you need. Yeah. So that was pretty awesome. And they did a great job. We didn't have any thrown out. We didn't have anybody screaming and hollering. I mean, we had a little bit, but yeah, it was. And, another thing was we didn't have any injuries. Yeah, I texted these guys and said we were blessed, by the big man upstairs, because we didn't have no injuries. We didn't have no issues. I mean, it was just super smooth, and we're thankful. So, again, thanks, guys, for coming. We're big fans of y'all's, and we'll be keeping up with you, and keep your lines open for, you might get invited back for that. I'm just saying. MVP might get, because Coach Avery, she's coming back. She won. So you might have to coach against her. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But, again, Mom, thanks for being here. Kenna, Ty, great job at the game. And we're looking forward to seeing y'all do great stuff going forward. And that's it. That's a wrap.